When we go down to the woods today, we're in for a big surprise, we hope. We're going bear hunting. One of the best chances of seeing a bear is with a pack of hounds. Our tame American hunting celeb and new best friend Jason Bruce becomes the wild man of the woods. He is passionate about hunting with hounds. Raccoons, mountain lions, bobcats are all fair game. However, just like in the UK, the laws are changing and this is probably the last film ever to be made of this kind. From January 2013, bear hunting with hounds is banned in the state of California.
Bear hunting hasn't been banned, it's the hound hunting that's banned for bear and bobcat. We'll still be able to be in the woods with fox and raccoons, but the fun stuff is gone.
What was the reason for that? Why did they...
I have no clue what the reason is. It's just it's the anti-hunters and the the humane society, stuff like that. They think they know what's best for us.
They're going to lose a lot of money because you're not going to buy tags next year if you can't go hound hunting.
Absolutely, and I'm not going to buy tags at all. I know many houndsmen that are not going to buy bear tags anymore. I know a lot of them, they're not even going to buy a hunting license anymore. They're just not going to hunt in this state because the state of California didn't support us, they didn't protect us. And yeah, there's lots, you know how hunting is all over the world. There's revenue lost when hunting's lost. And it's a big loss for the animal.
Bear hunting is not everyone's cup of root beer, but don't knock it till you try it. It's a big part of the culture across Europe and the rest of the world. And it's a working man's sport. The corn and the Pytchley, this ain't. Jason and his friend Mike have driven us up high into the Sierra Nevada mountains. Mike is a true hound man, the kind you would recognise from your own country if hunting with hounds is allowed. Before we clamber our way through into the wilder parts of this wilderness, the dogs have a comfort break and are sat on top of their transport box. It's kind of like putting your periscope up on a submarine, turning on the radar and the GPS. We're obviously onto something now.
Yeah, well, when they strike, this is obvious that there's something here. So we look through the snow or in the mud somewhere and try to find a good tracks and start putting dogs on it and see what happens.
The drive up and over into the valley is fun. The snowfall has been pretty light. Usually at this time of year, this place would be off limits. I must confess, I do have a thing for seeing hounds work, and the old ticker fires up when the hounds catch the whiff of cat. Big cat. Okay, well, we've got two mountain lion here, walking side by side, probably last night, heading in that direction. We're not shooting mountain lion today, but it might be fun just to go and see where they went. So the good news is there are lions very close by. The bad news is that in the state of California, we can't hunt them. Just a few miles away across the border into the state of Nevada, these dogs would be long gone, and with the government's blessing. What's the difference between hunting a cat and, say, a bear?
The bear, during the bear season, early on in the season, he can run far. He has a high endurance level,
yeah.
And later on in the season, he starts feeding himself, and they start gaining their fat, and they get building up energy for the winter, and they won't run as far. And then the lion can run far. I've seen them run a little bit of a distance, but not a huge distance. They don't have a huge lung capacity. They don't have huge endurance. So they'll pop up a tree, rest,
yeah.
Maybe do some fighting, growling back, stuff like that. And a lot of times they'll jump to another tree to try to distract the dogs, and then jump out of that tree and then leave.
After another drive, the hounds once again erupt, and this time it's bear. Mike keeps tabs on his charges with a GPS. They cover huge distances, crisscrossing each other, doubling back, all trying to feather onto that hot trail.
We got 3 dogs that are about 400 yards, and one dog that kind of took off running down the road or something, but he's making his way back. He's out about 700 yards.
We know they've gone across to the next valley. We drive one way and Jason the other. He hasn't got the GPS to rely on, just the hope he'll hear the hounds speaking.
We just actually located the dogs. We could hear them up on the other side of the canyon. They've came down, crossed the creek, and are still moving. So we're going to get around the creek and see if we can find them and see what they're after.
Their note echoes around the forest, and finally we catch up with them. What's going on down there?
It doesn't really sound like they're treed. It sounds like they're bait up on the ground. And Mike's going to carry another gun with him, so if something bad's happened, the most important thing is to get the dogs out of there. If the dogs are getting, eaten or something, we've got to get the bear shot, yeah. and without shooting any dogs. So that's why he's the dog handler. They're his dogs, so they're the priority.
And I'm a priority as well.
Yeah.
yeah. Me and the dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Right.
As long as we've got that clear.
Okay.
We charge as quickly as possible down to the sound. I just don't know what to expect. It sounds like one of the dogs is in pain and Mike is worried the bear has it. In actual fact, the dogs are fighting amongst themselves, and in the confusion, the big black bear shows a clean pair of paws and runs away. The bear wasn't held up in a tree, but at its base. What a rush! But also a shame not to get close to this amazing predator, especially when it's a big one.
Very disappointing, but that's hunting.
With all true hunting, management is key, and Jason tells me about a hunt last year where they caught up with some young which were left alone.
You've got footage of what happens next, so talk me through it. What should we have seen?
Well, if the bear would have went up a tree, we would have got, we would have heard them barking. We would have got to the tree. The dogs would have been barking like crazy. We look up the tree and find the bear. When they get on a really hot track and you hear them echoing down through the canyon, that's really that's the whole sport of hound hunting. It's not about the kill.
One by one, we track and pick up the hounds. These dogs only know one thing, and that is how to hunt. Some have been known to stay on the trail of a bear for days. One of the older bitches, Lady, is unaccounted for, and the GPS is not getting a reading. We split up, and for the next 2 hours we scour the hunting area. Mike is desperate to find her. She would have no problem surviving up here for a few days. Mike and Jason recovered one after 2 weeks earlier in the season. It had been living off a bear carcass. To improve our signal range, Mike wants height, and that requires more than this old Toyota's four-wheel drive deep tread. Out with the winch. Now, I've seen some off-roading in my time, but this effort is exceptional. Tree by tree, we clamber up the hill. It's no good. With heavy hearts, we have to leave the Sierra Nevada without 11-year-old Lady. The following morning, we get a call from Jason saying that Mike had gone to the last spot where Lady's collar had transmitted a reading. It's bad news. He finds her dead. The bear had killed her. What can you say? Farewell, good friend. This was to be Lady's last season. It's California's last bear hunt with hounds. And it sounds like she was giving that bear what for, right to the end.